Today, I'm going to talk about unpacking the common core state standards for writing. Write an informative and explanatory text. Right now, I'm teaching English as a second language for both grades 10 and grade 11, and also teaching reading and writing. And we're using common core state standards. Students, they need to be able to determine central ideas or themes of a text, and they're able to analyze the development and summarize the key supporting details and ideas. For reading and writing, they need to determine two or more themes or central ideas of a text, including how they interact and build on one another to produce a complex account. In the end, they need to write an explanatory text to convey ideas and information. So what would the student need to do? There are some, I just highlight some verbs. They need to identify two or more themes or central ideas in an informative or explanatory text. And identify two or more themes or central ideas interacting and building on one another. So what would students need to do? They need to analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So communicate the difference between central ideas and supporting details in an informative text, and determine themes or central ideas of an informative text. Analyze the development of two or more themes or central ideas over the course of the text. Examine how they interact and build on one another to produce a complex account. In the end, write an explanatory text to convey ideas and information. The big ideas for this lesson is they are able to write informative, explanatory text. So the writing entails a number of skills for students. They need to read closely and speaking and listening with each other while they do, collaboration work with each other. And also when they do the writing, they need to cite some evidence from the text. So they write the explanatory informative text to examine and convey the ideas, information clearly, and summarizing through effective selection, organization, and analysis of the context. There are many activities related to the standard. Activity 1, there will be a teacher-led discussion and review of two or more themes or central ideas in an informative text. Students need to analyze the development as highlighted in the standard, examine how they interact and build on one another to produce a complex account. Activity 2, some guided practice. They will read the text together. Read the students communicate the differences between central ideas and supporting details in an informative, explanatory text. In the third activity, they will work in pairs to determine the themes or central ideas of an informative, explanatory text. So there are some, I would like them to do some collaborative conversations, use hand signals, and there are also some group discussion rules. And students prepared for conversation with notes, and they will engage effectively in a range of collaborative discussions. The fourth activity, students will be doing some close reading, to find some evidence. Teacher will set a purpose with specific questions and will explicitly model the citing evidence, and students cited page numbers when citing evidence, determine the main idea of the text. The fifth activity, students will, work on groups. There will be some small group support. there are some sentence frames they will include in their writing, and the student will refer to the text while they're writing and quote accurately from the text. So for the formative assessment, I will observe their whole learning process all the whole time, and also through some questioning, I can know how well they learn about this text, and I will listen to their answers, their understanding, and I will observe their assessment, observe their learning through the graphic organizer, and also students will be doing some self-assessment by following the rubric. So for reflection parts, students will be asked to answer 2 questions. What are the 3 points students want to remember, and what is still circling around in your mind? So this is how I unpack the writing standard for write an informative and explanatory text.